Evening there, everybody. Welcome to my first live. Today we're going to be talking about stone giants. There's all over the world. You can find images in mountains, just all over the place of rock humans and rock animals. Some of them, yes, can be carved by man. Some of them, I don't think so. Nature really don't work in the way that it does showing these. So that's what I'm kind of talking about today. Um, so it's the first one here. If I can get to my deal. So the first one I want to talk about is this dude here. If I can get it to pop up right there. Now that one there looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I find it interesting. Could that be Photoshop? Yeah. Um, if it is not, nature ain't going to carve it out that way. And another one, I want to kind of show you two examples, is this right here. That is definitely not carved by humans or Photoshop. That's an actual place in India, rock in India. And what I want to kind of go over on this is there is a lot of talk about in ancient times. I mean, even in Christians, I mean, it talks about how giants had roamed this earth. And at one time, they got to the point where they were unruly, I guess you can say, and God destroyed them and turned them into stone. Could that be what we're seeing here? Might possibly be. I don't know. I'm not. I can see that because there's too many coincidences in this world suggesting that it could be something more than that. Now, some of this stuff, yes, photoshopped is a very good possibility. Let's find another one here. This one here is another good one. It's either photoshopped or it's been carved out by man. It's hard to say. A lot of detail in that. A lot of detail. Could that have been something that God destroyed? Yeah, and then it turned to stone, and that's what it looked like. There's tons and tons of evidence on giants that roam this world, and I'll be doing a podcast with William again here soon on part 2, Snow Stope 9. Sorry, guys, of giants. This is kind of focusing more on the stone structures you find around the world. I mean, you got Norse talk about how the gods defeated giants. I mean, giants they're all different kind. You have frost giants, mountain giants, trolls, ogres. I mean, you just all different kinds of stuff. And then, I mean, you got another one here. This looks a lot like something that could have been carved. I'd lean that more towards human being carved on that one. Either way, it's interesting. And there's just stuff all around this world that if you go to, you're going to find. And that's kind of what we're diving into here today. And I kind of want to know your guys' opinion, what you guys think too. I mean, could these be giants of a past time that was instantly petrified, turned to stone? It looks a lot like it. You know, this one here, man, that's cool. I don't know if that's photoshopped or not. I mean, it is cool as all get out, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'm still doing a lot of. It's hard to find a lot of stuff nowadays. Trying to find things on the internet nowadays is a lot harder than what it used to be. Another good one that I really like is that one there. That's not carved out by man. That is and it ain't carved out by nature. Nature can't make stuff like that. I mean, they can do a lot of things, but that's just not one of them that they can do. We find evidence all over this world of giants. Now, yes, the don't know if I should mention the name, but hey Shades, what's up, my brother? Glad you can make it. Um, so that's what I find interesting, because you got museums that hides bones from giants and hides other things, and you got people tell you things that ain't the way they are. But I mean, if you look at stuff like this here, that looks just like a petrified dinosaur. I mean, that's found in nature. So I mean, how can we sit here and say that yes, something existed or no, it didn't, when you're finding stuff like that? I mean, here's another one. This looks like a petrified sloth. I mean, nature cannot carve stuff like that, not in that intricate, and it don't look like it's been worked by man. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, and it's this is what I find fascinating, and this is like, this is part of the why I've started this channel, the bizarre and unknown, because people don't see this stuff out here like this, and they don't know what's out there. And a lot of people nowadays are so stuck on this computer or on this phone and stuck at home, and they ain't getting out and seeing what's out there, and we forget what we have, what's right in front of us. And you guys have to forgive me, I'm taking quite a bit of drinks. I've been dealing with something for the past couple of days. And snow stope 9. So this is that time with the weather change, and getting all that old season out of my lungs and everything else. But we want to come around here and on this podcast here and talk about stuff like this. I mean, this one here is definitely, and this is called the Sleeping Man or the Sleeping Giant. It's over in England. That one there, very good possibility that was carved out by man. Why they would go way up here in the middle of nowhere and carve this in the way that they did could also mean that maybe it is what a lot of these ancient people talk about, how the gods had came down and destroyed them and turned them into stone. I mean, that, like I said earlier, that is throughout all religions. They talk about giants and God taking it down. I mean, look at your Greeks. Zeus took down the Titans. Could these very well be the Titans that they're talking about? It could be. I mean, look how often Thor killed giants. I mean, he was known as a giant killer. All giants feared him. And what's to say that this ain't some Jotnar or Titan or giant? I mean, when Moses went into the promised land, before he went, he sent in scouts. The scouts reported of giants being there, taller than any building known, and fruits bigger than they are, and it scared them. So I mean, it shows that giants were real and giants were here. And I mean, this is another cool one. This one might be photoshopped. I can't say, but you find stuff like this all over the world. Nature's not going to do that. That nature is not going to make something like that. If that's real, that's really cool. Now next one is real, and this comes from Ireland. Nature's not going to do that. I mean, that looks like a petrified giant elephant. And there's stories throughout history and throughout old civilizations that talk about giant animals and giant people. We still have reports to this day of giants. There's some stuff on here that I found. For some reason, I'm not getting able to get up on here. But if you bust open these rocks, it looks like literally flesh, like real life human and animal flesh. And if you wet it, brings it out even more. I mean, you can lay it next to a steak and you would not tell the difference if it was real or a rock, or if it's flesh or rock. You can't tell. There's rocks after you bust them open, and it literally looks like blood, petrified blood. This is all over the world, and it seems to be want to be hushed all the time. I find this one. This is probably human carved, but I mean, you find stuff like this all over the world. That is definitely not nature done. If that's photoshopped, it's really good. I'm leaning probably towards human carved. But you find stuff like this in ancient stories and stuff like that, and it's remarkable. And when I do research for my books, this is kind of stuff I look at because I like to incorporate this stuff into my books. And so this episode here, um, that's what I'm kind of going over. Is I want to kind of talk about that and kind of see what you guys think. So far, Shade, you're the only one in here. What do you think about this stuff, brother? And for you guys that watch this later on, Shades is a brother of mine. Damn good friend, damn good man right there. Love this guy to death. But for those who catch this episode later, just kind of message me later on here. I'm real curious of what you all think about this stuff. I wish I had some more stuff, but the other stuff is going to be more related to when I'm next time I'm a guest on William Nighthawk's show. Let me open this up over here to see what else I can pull up. There's reports to this day of giants still. Giants has been found throughout history. Could these be petrified remains of giants? I believe they could be. It's a very good possibility. Some of them, yeah, it was human carved. Some of them, yeah, it very well could be photoshopped. I'm not going to dispute that one bit. Man, I really wish I could pull these up. But you're finding stuff like, let's see if I can get this added on here. Give me 1 second, guys. Yes, I can. I'll get this other one too. Get this one and that one. This is stuff I'll share on William's show as well. I find it very interesting. Let me get this last one uploaded too while I'm at it. Where did you go? No, it's not going to let me upload that one. Okay. Well, so, there's reports all the time, and there's reports in history where the Smithsonian came in and it was taking stuff that they find. But they're digging stuff like this up all the time. And, there's I can add this while I'm talking about this. There's been, I don't know if it won't let me do that one either. Or is that one in that one? Yeah, that's in that one. Anyways, you can go online and you can show scales, and William had got it to post up one day. But this is another one here of dig sites. This one here looks like it was fighting a giant snake. And you're finding this stuff all over the world. It is unreal what you can find out there. That's just a couple things that I'm wanting to get into to kind of show when I'm on William's next posting I do with him. But this is proofs out there, guys. It really is. It's just unreal what's out there. This thing here is just so cool. A sleeping giant, or sleeping soldier, I think it might be. I got to look it up again. I forgot. But that's that one over in England. Just why would somebody be out in the middle of nowhere and carve that on top of a mountain just to do it? That thing's old. You can see the weathering on that. That thing is old. Why would somebody do that? Why would they do that is what I want to know. But I'm kind of curious on who was all in here watching. What do y'all think about this? What's your guys' thoughts on it? We can kind of go over this stuff. If there's another picture you want to see, let me know and I'll bring it back up. But what do you guys think on that? Is there anybody want to put any insight on it? Oh, and by the way, if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that like, subscribe, and share, man. That helps me build stuff up where I can start doing better stuff. And This is kind of my first live I've done. The stuff in here that I got looks like flesh and blood that's been petrified. I'll do a short video on it, being I can't share it on here for some reason. So I'll do a short video and post it on here. And my brother from another mother, DA. Hey Benji, this is DA Roberts. I tell you about all the time. Very, very, very good man. Very, very, very skilled author right here. This guy is a huge inspiration for me. Right, DA, you're right. And that's why I say on there, could it be AI? Yeah, they very well could be. If the art are really good, really, really good stuff, man. But some of the stuff is actually, you can actually trace it back. Let me get back in here real quick. Not that one. This one here, actual one. That one there is in India. That's a real one there. It looks just like an elephant, and it looks like it's been weathered through time. I mean, that is a very cool one. This one here, I'm trying to remember exactly where that was at. I've forgotten off the top of my head. That one there was from England. This one here is from Ireland. And that's actual places you can go. That's called Elephant Rock. It's over there in Ireland. And man, it's cool stuff. It's cool, really cool stuff. And this is kind of stuff I find fascinating. So the thing is we got to get out and do the footwork. Now, if I can get rich and famous one of these days, I'll be able to travel to some of these places and kind of look this up and look at them. But I mean, I've known stories about giants since I was knee high to a grasshopper's backside. And I mean, I knew they existed. I've known since I was a little tyke that, you know, a certain organization comes in and gets rid of the evidence. That's been known for a long time. There's a lot of it here in Missouri that gets done. I mean, there's been a lot around Missouri. Things are hidden and kept from us all the time. And that's why I kind of do this stuff, because I want to encourage people to get out and do the research. Go out and look at it. Find this stuff. And man, I'll be more than happy to help you guys getting it out there and known if you can go out and actually find it. Yeah, this one here. Let me see if I can add this one real quick. This one here, I believe, was in, trying to remember. I got to look it up again. Maybe Indonesia? Can't remember. Waiting on it to load. Sorry, guys. But you're finding stuff like this all over the place. India. I can tell now by that picture. That's from India. You're finding stuff like this all over the place. I mean, there is stuff all over these mountains. If you go out and look at, you're going to find, and you're going to find evidence. Now, you know, there is different sizes and classifications of giants. And it's not all just human, like people think it's all human. No, giants, there's giant animals and giant everything. You can find that through the fossil records too. So some of this stuff that looks like giant animals, man, that very well could be. I mean, there was our ecosystem at one time. The oxygen was so rich, along with everything else, that big growth was not uncommon whatsoever. Not uncommon at all. And it's that's why this is a possibility. So, you know, like I was talking earlier, you know, it talks about, you know, in the Christianity, how God came down and was displeased with the life forms that was here before, and he destroyed them, turned them all to stone. This could be what we're looking at on some of this stuff. Very well could be. I mean, it's like these pictures of rocks that look like flesh and petrified flesh and petrified blood. Could that be what we're working at? I mean, what do you guys think on that? I mean, do you think that's a possibility? What could be that? I mean, I can't 100% say yes, this is what it actually is. I can't. Will we get to that time? Like cryptids, man. I love cryptids. I love cryptids, and to me, this falls in line. Even though, I mean, giants could be classified as something else. I don't know. I believe it does fall in the cryptid category, though, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, DA, just let me know. Could it be? Possibly. Yeah. I mean, the sizes range from anywhere from an old scale. I can't pull this up on here, but I might be able to pull it up on here where I can look at it. So, skeleton figures range from the old times from 6 foot to 36 foot. So present day, an average human is around 6 foot. Southeast Turkey, late 1950s, there's reports of people being 15 foot. Maximus Thrax, Caesar of Rome, in 3523 AD, he got 8'6". Let's see if I can post that. That is a very good point, and that's why I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know that, brother. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too, DA. And that's kind of what I was at too on that is, it very well that Bigfoot, Gugwee, all them are a type of Bigfoot. Yeah, there is Shades, big time there is. I mean, you got Goliath back when Goliath and his brothers roamed the earth. They are on average of 10'6". Then you got OG, king of Bashan. He was, and this was 1400 BC. He was 12 foot. Around 1577 AD, he got 19'6". 1456 AD, got 23 foot. 1613 AD, 25 and a half foot. 650 BC to 640 AD, you got 36 foot. So, I mean, it's not, yeah, I agree. DA. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Because that's kind of what I was thinking. Because the fact is like you just said, that it's not proven. Has there been videos? Has there been pictures of them? Yeah, same as Bigfoot, Gugwee, Wendigo. Man, I know I'm forgetting some. I mean, look at the Kraken. The Norse talked about the Kraken all the time. Giant squid. Getting that stuff, for a long time was thought myth, and now they're finding this huge squid that very well could be what the Norse was calling a cryptid. Very good possibility. I mean, and these giants would fall in here. So when we're seeing these stone stuff like this, the stone faces in mountains and stone people in mountains, and you actually look at a mountain and it looks like a human actually laying down or sleeping, or like it has fallen and died. Man, that is very perfect. Yes, I was actually saving that for William Nighthawk show, but yes, DA, you're absolutely correct on that, and that is a recent one. That is a very recent one right there, the Kandahar giant, buddy. You're absolutely right, 100% on that. And I mean, it's, yeah, they call them Janoska over there. I mean, that is perfect example of modern stuff that is found on them. So I personally, I've never seen a Bigfoot myself, but I'm a firm believer because of the evidence that I see and the evidence that I find all the time, plus the reports. I'm the same way on these giants. I mean, there's too much out there saying that they don't exist. And these stone faces that we're seeing in these mountains that you can tell was not carved by man, and definitely, not carved by nature. Could that be? Could that be depending on whatever side you want to go on, the gods had destroyed them, and we're seeing the remnants of them now. I mean, look at Zeus when he fought the Titans. I mean, when he killed the Titans, they turned to stone. So, I mean, is that what we're seeing? These rocks that look like flesh, this petrified blood, could that be the remains of the Titans or the giants or whatever you want to call them for whatever region? Very well could be, man. It very well possibly could be remnants of that. Man, I don't know. I wonder if I could load that up, means you said that, DA. I think I got, this is a makeshift, or just kind of a sketch of what the soldiers described that Kandahar giant looking like, right here. This is just a drawing of what they described. I mean, you look at through a lot of your civilizations, man. Shades, that is a really, really, really good thing to read into. You can find some stuff on that. You got to dig. It's like anything else. They want to keep it quiet, so you got to dig. But if you do, that is a rabbit hole and a half right there. I mean, it is a huge. I mean, and while you're in there, DA even talks about it. One of his short stories, it was about soldiers in Afghanistan fighting the Barmanu. I mean, the Barmanu are the Middle East version of over in the I am brain farting off the top of my head right now. Hoo-ha region over there of Pakistan, Afghanistan. That's their equivalent to Bigfoot, and you'll find stories on there too. When you research the Kandahar giant, you'll find stories like that into the Barmanu is, to me, my opinion on the Barmanu is that seems a lot like a Gugwi, just because of the stories. Correct. Yes. There you go. Thank you, DA. Yeah. Throughout the mountains of the Middle East. I remember I looked it up, and it was like on a border between two places. Yeah. The Barmanu, man, that, a lot, that's the sad thing is when you start researching the Kandahar giant, they bring up Barmanu. In all actuality, if you listen to the stories of Barmanu and the actual Kandahar giant, are two different things. They're really two. Agreed. Yes, 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 Shades. 100%. I'm that way too. I'm that way too. That's why I always tell people when I'm doing a guest appearance on a podcast, or I'm doing a show like this, or I'm doing an interview with somebody, I always say I'm 99%. And the reason why I'm 99% is, yes, I've seen enough stuff out there to make me believe. Exactly, DA. Exactly. That's what I was saying. But I'm 99% because I got to leave at least 1% there to say this could be wrong. That's why I was talking in my pictures earlier. Could this be Photoshop? Yes. Could this be AI? Yes. Could this be carved? Yes. A lot of that stuff, it actually could be 100%. And yeah, I mean, and you say that all the time, DA. You're always saying that. There is no experts in this field. I am by far no expert. I am just starting my journey in this. I've got people like DA that I can lean on whenever I'm stuck on something. I've got, William Nighthawk. I got people I go to because I don't know everything, and I ain't never going to pretend I do. I just have theories. And a lot of this, what we deal with, is a theory. Can these theories be proven? Yes, that's a great thing about theories. I mean, a theory is something that you got an idea on, and until it's proven fact, it remains a theory. So until we get them, you're right. Yes, DA, 100%. That's kind of the reason why I had those up there, even the ones I thought could be photoshopped or AI'd. just because they are doesn't mean they're the stories ain't. And I mean, I've seen it, and I know you've seen tons more than I have on stuff like this. I mean, you look at take the Norse for instance. They talk about trolls and ogres, and you know, you troll or ogres that if the sunlight hits them, they turn to stone. Could that be what we're seeing? You know, something like this here that I was showing earlier. Could this be something of that sort that we're seeing? It got caught in the sunlight and then boom, turned into stone. I mean, that is a possibility. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, I subscribe to that because it's talked about it, and it's not just Norse that talk about it. I mean, the Greeks talk about it. The Romans talked about it. I mean, the Romans even had stories of talking, fighting different things, giants, hairy people, werewolves. I mean, they have stories of this. Stories are throughout history on this stuff. You just have to get out and do the muscle and do the research on this to see if it's true or not. I don't know if I got anything else good on here or not that might be. I can't show that stuff there because that is for that docu-series I'm in. But you know, and I'm a firm believer in this, and DA, I know you've said it before, and I've heard tons of other people saying this too. People's like, well, why ain't there any bones? We know bear exists. Do you find the bones in the woods of the bear? No, man. I've spent most of my life in the woods, and I have been in wooded and jungled areas all over this world. I've even been in that desert over there, and there's creatures I know exist, but have I found the bones to them? No, but I know they exist because I physically seen them. So I mean, this could be a possibility. Now, I mean, are we just now digging stuff up from this? If this ain't photoshopped or AI, man, that is a remarkable find right there and proof. But certain powers to be will not let you know that because they fear that it will disrupt the what's a good way of putting it? Disrupt the knowledge of the world. They believe it'll cause anarchy. And I will some, yes, I believe. I mean, it's the same as cryptids. When you're hunting cryptids, there's going to be some that takes the evidence and the facts and wants to do bad with it. I mean, that's just sad truth of human nature. That's just how we are. Some of us know, man. I for one, guys, man, they you know, I'm Native American, part Native American, and my ancestors always call these things the elder big brothers and the first beings, is because they were here before us. We lived together in a circle. We're all part of the great circle of life, man. We all are. We're all a part of it. We're all, what happens to one affects the other. So I can't, I just one can't, unless it's trying to kill me or my kids. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I mean, in that instance, yeah, obviously I can. So I don't know. I know, Shade, you're into a lot of the stuff that I am too, and that's why I kind of figured you'd like this a little bit. And we got to get down to Joe Bald here soon, very, very soon, and some others. There's an area over here that DA keeps telling me about that I got to go investigate too. Now that I got my truck for the most part running, it's 4-wheel drive, I can get out there. But man, I am really excited. And there's some stuff that, man, I found today, and unfortunately I can't talk about it because of the docu-series I'm in, but there's a lot of stuff out there. And I encourage anybody that listens to the show, if you have evidence and you want to get it out there and you're scared to do it, send it to me, man. I'll get it out there. If you want to be anonymous, I'll keep you anonymous. I respect that. We have to respect each other. And this is what it's all about. You know, when I go out and do investigation, am I looking for Bigfoot only? No, man, I'm looking for Dogman, Bigfoot, Wendigo, giants, anything out there that cannot be explained, anything bizarre or unknown. That's what I'm looking for. That's what piques my interest. That's what gets me going. Is I like that stuff, and that's what I want to do. I want to get out and find that. Anything. It doesn't matter. I want to see it. I mean, look at the stories throughout history of tortoises that are big as an island that still roam, and then you hear stories about somebody seeing a sailor seeing an island, and then when they come back through that area, that island's not there no more. Could that be one of these giant animals that we're seeing immortalized in stone? Dude, that is possible. I mean, that is very, very possible of that being that. I cannot dispute that one bit. I don't know. I don't have it handy. Daggone it. I really can't. And I want to find that stuff. And that's what I started this here for. I'm not a big dude, got all these followers, nothing. I mean, I don't have the following most people do, but my gosh, I love this stuff. I mean, and I've always wanted to do it, and I don't like stepping on other people's toes. And there's so many other podcasters out there. So the fact you guys are coming on here and listening to this, and anybody who watches this later on that ain't live now, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I just like this stuff and talking about it and discussing it. I mean, exactly, Dig. Yes, we do. We all got to start somewhere, and that's where I am. I'm jumping into a pool that's already got it's already stocked full of people. But by gosh, I'm gonna make my little bitty swimming spot right there, and this is what this is about, and this is fun. And eventually, I'm hoping these things get better and get longer. This is my first time doing it. Friday or Saturday was I was so disappointed. Saturday, YouTube told me, hey, you need to do lives. It brings more followers. So I go to set up a live and let me do it. So I got with William Nighthawk here and got on this StreamYard, and now I'm able to do all this stuff that I've been wanting to do. So the first one that this first podcast I'm talking about is Stone Giants, and I figured that'd be a good place to start is on these stone giants. I'm kind of interested knowing if any of you guys seen anything like that you have personally seen that you can go, man, I don't think man carved that, or nature did that. That's what am I looking at here? I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of places all over this world, if not thousands, of things you look at and you go, okay, yeah, that's not natural. Thank you, Shades. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, you're right, buddy. You're right. I'm just kind of curious. Have you guys, in all your exploits, I mean, you was military, you was law enforcement. I mean, you've been around. Shades, you've been around too. Have you guys seen stuff when you've out and about that you looked at and go, my Lord, that looks like a giant human, or hey, that looks like a giant animal. Have you guys seen anything like that? And I mean, there's places around this world where it literally looks like a hand stuck in the ground. And other things. I mean, some stuff was carved, obviously, but some of the stuff it's not. You can just tell it wasn't carved by man. I just wasn't sure if any of you guys have seen something like that too or not. So, yes, Jesus, man. Yes, he did. Oh my gosh. Sage, if you ever get a chance to find that podcast that DA did with Jesus Payon, my Lord, that guy found, and he's in New Mexico. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I see it right there. He's in New Mexico. Man, and that's funny because you actually in that area, mainly kind of further north in the Paiute area, they talk about giants as carnivorous. They hunted Native Americans to eat them, and eventually the Paiutes came together and fought them. And you could actually find a cave up in there where you can see it's been burnt out, and they found remains. They found bones in there, big bones in there, that kind of corroborate with the story the Paiutes talked about, how they trapped them all in a cave and burnt them alive because they got tired of them coming down and hunting them and killing them. And I mean, you got Cherokee down in the southeastern part of the United States. Talk about a guardian Yes, Lovelock, Nevada. Thank you. Thank you very much, DA. Yes, Lovelock, Nevada. I'll put that up here. Right, yes, that is it. And they actually found a cave that is charred out and had remains in it. Of course, certain organizations come in, take stuff out. That's happens all the time. But that I was talking about the Cherokee. They have the forest guardian. Gosh, I can't make. He's the guardian of the woods. I can't remember the exact term, but if you go on to his, I mean, for the most part, he leaves you alone. And what's funny is if you actually listen to all these stories, and if you actually look at some of these stone structures, they all are very similar. Double row teeth. There you go. Thank you, DA. You're the man. You're the man. Tasula Kalu. Um, they all have 6 fingers and double sets of row teeth. That is a very, very. You know what? I forgot all about that, Shades. Thank you, buddy. Lafleur County Sasquatch War, 1855, Oklahoma and Choctaw Nation. I forgot all about that. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that, buddy. But anyways, if you went into his domain without permission, he would chase you out or kill you. I mean, they even got a rock down there that shows his handprint, 6 fingers and everything on that rock. But if you got permission from him to hunt on his lands, he would let you, but you had to give an offering. You had, offer something to him. But that stories is, I mean, that's just here in the U.S. I mean, there's stories all over this world about that. No kidding, DA. Wow. You know what? We're going to have to do some research on that one, brother. We're really going to have to do some research on that. Wow, man, that is really, really cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up too. I really am. DA, if you did, I'm going to have to save up some money. We're going to have to go down there. Yes, I remember that. Shades, I remember that very well because I remember stories about it, but I'd forgotten. And you're right. And that's the funny thing too, is a lot of people don't realize, most common Native Americans around here, which was a branch of the Sioux, was the Osage. The Osage on an average was 6 foot tall back in them days. And that was extremely large for Native Americans during that time. And I'm going to put, there you go, DA. Yes. But this here, I meant to click on that first. I would love to go there. I really would love to go there. That would be some fascinating field research that I would love to go down and do, get boots on ground in that area, and not just hit that area, but the areas up around it. There you go. Yes, DA. Yes, yeah. See, I mean, oops, hit the wrong one. Were you? Hey, Shades, I need that story, dude. I need that story, brother. I really need that story. There you go. I mean, the Osage are recorded being 6.5, 7 foot tall. Yeah. I mean, that was extremely large for Native Americans in that time. So, they talk about, Guinness Book has got these records. This man's the tallest one, blah, blah, blah. Man. Yes, that is right, DA. I remember now. Shades, if you can get down, you need to get on a lot of DA's shows, man. This man is a fountain of knowledge when it comes to this stuff. I don't remember that one, DA. I really don't remember that one. It has a ring to it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Then again, I still got the What's up, baby girl? I'm on a live.
Oh, what are you making for dinner?
It's in the oven.
Okay, what is it?
It's rib tip butts.
Okay.
I didn't have stuff to grill it, so I just put it in the oven, covered it up so it stays semi-moist.
You want me to get you some on a plate?
I already did. Thank you,
Okay.
though. You were sleeping, so I just let you sleep. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to look into that one. I really am gonna have to look in that one because I really find that. I mean, when I think of Arkansas, I'm thinking of Boggy Creek, but man, Moss Mountain does have a familiar ring to it. I'm gonna have to look more into that one. Um, oh, okay, yeah. I am going to have to look that one up. Maybe I've seen so many of them I forgot about it, but it doesn't hurt to get refreshed. I'm constantly rewatching some of your shows, so man, that's all I do in my truck at work all day, and truck going to home or work and truck going home is. Um, okay, that's why it sounds familiar. Okay, yes, I remember now, Da. Yes, that's why it sounds. It has a ring to it. Okay, yes. That's why. Okay, I remember. Thank you so much for saying that because I was sitting there rattling my brain trying to remember where that sounded familiar at. It really did. Hey, Yessie. She probably can't hear me. That's why. Okay, I remember now. My gosh, I'm sorry, Da. I feel bad for forgetting all that. Oh yeah, and I mean there you go, man. The Boggy Creek Bigfoot, and I mean them. I could be wrong. My theory on that's a type of gugwe. I mean, you listen to the reports and how they're talked about. To me, it just screams gugwe. But I mean, I could be wrong because I mean, and the fact is, the further north you go, I mean, I know this is jumping off the stone giants, but it is. Um, uh, Look at like oh my gosh, he's on your show, Frank. Talks about in Alaska how the Bigfoot up there are not gugwe, but man, are they aggressive, and it seems that way. Uh, Further north you go, the less food source, the more aggressive they are. So could you get something like a gugwe or something that's not a gugwe but acts like one in another location? You're exactly right. There you go. Thank you, Da. Like a gugwe. Yes, that's what I thought. Some of the tracks in Folklore, Arkansas were three-toed. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that straight up screams gugwe. Yes. Oh, big time. Big time. Get that up there for you, Shades. As one of the southwest tip of Arkansas, tons more timber in our waterways in Arkansas. I know, man. I have got to get a team together. We have got to go do some more research down in the hollers. You know, yeah. So there you go, right there. I mean, Genusqua, very aggressive. I mean, they really are, man. They really are. And I apologize for getting off the topic. I guess I'm repeating Da Machina here and getting off topic, but my gosh, yes. And it's so interesting about this stuff, and that's why I find this stuff interesting, because you can research a story about a certain type in one area, and this falls with giants, Bigfoot, other kind of animals. Um, Topic. We don't need no stinking topic. You're absolutely right, Da. You're absolutely right, brother. But you can hear the stories about these giants or whatever in one part, and you could be in the same. I mean, just take U.S. for instance. One part of the U.S. they're calm. Other part of the U.S. they're trying to kill you. I mean, and that's stories on both giants and Bigfoot alike. I mean, and the only one that seems to be the similar across the board is something I really don't want to mess with. And I'm sorry to steal this one from you, Da, but I love this, and this is one of my favorite parts of your book in Wild Hunt. Angry Sex with a Snow Machine is the daggone Wendigo. Oh, you're right there. Oh man, I got to put that. You're absolutely right on that, DA. Absolutely right. Just like bears, the farther north you get, the more aggressive they are, and the more they eat, more they are likely to eat meat. You're absolutely right because you come down here to Missouri. I mean, take a black bear here in Missouri. A black bear in Missouri is more of a it's omnivorous. It'll eat meat if it's there, but generally they eat a lot of plants. You go up there to North Alaska, and they're more apt to hunt and eat meat than they are down here. It just depends on what you. It seems to be a common study. Whatever food source is plentiful in that area, that is what they focus on. And if food is not plentiful, they're opportunists. They are. They're opportunists. They'll go after whatever you want. And man, that story is man, that is just all over the place. That is, I love that stuff. But it's interesting, and you can get outside of the realm of giants and cryptids alone, and that's animals. Period. I mean, animals. Period are like that too. The colder climates, the more calories they need to survive, and they get those from calories from yeah. They don't get them from plants. You're absolutely right, Da. I mean, absolutely right, absolutely right. You know, I know. I mean, I know they call the Wendigo a cryptid. I lean more towards the theory that they're a supernatural. They're paranormal. Because I mean, even the stories talk about how the Native American made a deal with Cold himself, the spirit of Cold himself, to be, and he became the Wendigo. But you're absolutely right. I mean, look at your and the sizes of them too changes depending on the food source too, and that might be why we get so many reports of different sized giants, is because of much food as they got. Yeah, yeah, Da or Shade, you're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, that is something I've kind of theorized myself, Da. Yeah. I wonder myself, could it been an aggressive Bigfoot, or could it have been a Wendigo that got a hold of them? That is a very good point. I have often thought about that. Very good point. Or on the same subject, could it have been giants? I mean, look at all the reports of giants that was found in that area too. It could have been them too. It's hard to say. It really is hard to say, but man, that is a very, very, very good theory to go on that. Hey, baby girl, can you do me a flavor?
Yes.
Can you give me some more ice water?
I need a bigger.
We'll have to try to find something tomorrow then, honey. Those are pretty flowers, though.
Yeah. Did
Sorry.
You smell them?
Yes, remember you had me do it. Shades, that is funny you bring that up. My good friend in here actually has a book about that. Just recently came out. You'll like it. It's a wild hunt book. You'll really like that book. Yeah, DA, there is. There really is. You know what's funny is I actually done some research in Missouri about Wendigo, and even though it's few and far in between, it's more towards northern Missouri, like where I'm from, St. Joe area, than it is down here. And I think that's because we don't get the cold down here like we do up there. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, I mean, that could have been Gugwe. Hell, it could even been a giant on that one. You're absolutely right. Because Wendigos are destructive, devilish people. Few people missing their tongue. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. That is right. I mean, of course, die awful past. That was in Russia. Thank you, baby girl. You want to jump on and say hi to everybody live?
I'm doing my skincare.
You're doing her skincare? Hey, guys, this is my youngest daughter, Yessie. That's a little mini me.
Hello.
She gets into this stuff too. Um, but man, that kind of, I mean, it's choice meats. All their choice meats were missing. Very, very choice meats were missing. Um, yeah, I mean, right, DA, and that's why. I mean, of course, in that area, it'd be the Yeti, which to me, the Yeti is just like a snow gugwe. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's kind of what I look at it is. Um, but when with the skulls crushed, the tongues missing, and all that other stuff, man, yeah, I would say that's probably yeah, DA. I mean, it could be that too. I'm not real familiar with that one. I'll have to do some more research on that. But yeah, it's a possibility, man. Um, that's a real good possibility. And which, I mean, there again, I mean, it's just my theory. They all are in the realm of giants in one way or another. Okay, so that's why I was thinking Yeti. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought because if you listen to the stories of old, I mean, they all kind of flow together like that, man. And it's just, which if you listen to the Native American stories, and we'll go on the Bigfoot topic here for a minute. Of course, we already have been. So the old Native American stories talked about how Gugwe and Bigfoot, all of them were of one at one time, and at a certain point in history, one group of them got tired of humans and the way they acted and wanted to kill and eat them, where the other part didn't. And that's where you get Gugwe, which is the Native American term for face eater, and you get Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever else you want to call them. And that's why there's two factions of them when there's only one at one time. So, man, that I could see that being across the world. I mean, granted, that story's here from the United States, from our Native American people, but why can't that be across the world? Why can that have been a fact across the world? I mean, it's already proven. I mean, growing up, I remember learning there was one landmass, and that's how everybody got over here from Asia. When actually there was two. There was two land masses, and there's evidence over on the east side of Europeans being here way before the Asians came down through Alaska and came down. Why couldn't have cryptids and evil spirits? I mean, look at the stories when the Irish came over and they're finding you go over into the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that, and they got stories that are very similar to the Irish stories. Why couldn't all of that stuff had came over when they did? They were following a food source. The Bigfoots could have done the same thing, very same thing. And that's why you have the two split all over the world and not just here in the United States. Very good possibility. Yeah, DA. Yeah, right here, guys. They could cross over the North Pole. It's frozen and connects us to Siberia. You're absolutely correct. I mean, you're absolutely correct on that. I mean, that is they could still be doing that to this day. But I mean, if you just take from the early, humanoids being here in the United States, man, look at the two land bridges that there was back then. I mean, so much of history has changed in just our lifetime alone. Just in our lifetime alone, history has changed so much that everything we grew up knowing ended up being false. I mean, it really has. Um, so I mean, that's why I think if you actually look throughout all civilizations, all our stories on the same subjects we have here in the United States are very similar to the ones across the world. I mean, that's sailors, same thing. Of course, the sailors you can kind of see why because they're traveling all over the ocean. But I mean, just take your land-based animals alone. The stories of the supernatural, paranormal, or cryptid, they're similar across the world. I mean, they really are. And some of our beliefs are older than what we know. I mean, as far as old gods and stuff like that, which all stems back to the fall of the Tower of Babel, where we all looked the same and spoke the same until the tower fell. Then our tongue was split and we split. That's why I believe a lot of our religions and our stories and our history is very similar, is because of that fact right there. I mean, I could be wrong. That's my theory. That is, and that's what this is all about, is theories, is getting our theories out there and trying to get boots on the ground to do the research to prove that these theories are fact. I mean, look at the government now. They're finally admitting about aliens and UFOs. Look how long we've been fighting that dog. I mean, there is pictograms and stuff like that in caves, and there's carvings all over this world of dinosaurs, dragons, UFOs, ghosts, giants, cryptids. I mean, it is all over this world. And you can't tell me that this civilization, the Mayans knew the Chinese. I mean, back then, all they knew is their little piece of pie right here. If they didn't have contact with each other, how would they know about this? How would the Mayans have carvings of a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops and a Brontosaurus on their pyramids if the dinosaurs were not still here when humans were? Why are we finding fossilized creek beds of human and dinosaur footprints walking side by side? Why are we still getting reports of dinosaurs to this day? Look at the river monster in Congo. It was a cephalopod or something like that. I can't remember. I have it in here somewhere. I have to pull up my research to look at it. It's a freaking dinosaur, man. I mean, so these reports that we have of all this stuff is not just old and ancient reports. There is modern reports to these. They're finding marine life that they said is being extinct for millions of years, and there's people eating them as a delicacy right now in other countries. I mean, we're just now oh my gosh, maybe we're wrong. I don't buy into mainstream science historians. They get more things wrong than they do right. Saying they're the same guys that telling you that these giants don't exist, these cryptids don't exist, and this don't exist, this don't exist. They're the exact same people as doing that. And the exact same people that's going to come on there when you post an evidence on something, say, oh, what's this and this and this, because they don't want you to know. And that's where we have to come out and go, hey, no, this is known. Here, look at this. So it's just fascinating. But I mean, back on your stone giants, I mean, how is you going to get that stuff in these mountains and these hills? I mean, how are you going to get? Oh, I didn't save them. Daggone it. I actually had pictures of land formations that looked like islands that look like literally giants laying down. I mean, I should have saved those. I need to go back there and try to find those again. Very interesting you bring that up there, Shades. Very, very interesting you bring that up. There is DA can tell you all about this too. Mr. Roosevelt actually had a cryptid encounter. And then shortly after that cryptid encounter is when he started making national parks. And, my camera is like, hello, camera. Are you okay? That thing is like way out of focus for some reason. Yes, DA. Yes, DA. I agree. You listen to the stories he talks about. How could it not? I mean, how could it not? How could he have not had more than one encounter? And he wrote under that false name, which I don't have the research, so I'll have to lean on you on this one. What was that author's name he wrote under? Or no, his characters he wrote under. Why is that thing acting up? That is weird. It's like really not wanting to focus at all. Push it back here, see if that helps. I'm getting used to this new camera. I had to get this so I can do lives because what I do on my phone, I was waiting for. There you go. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for handing that out to me. Yeah. Shade, you want or anybody else out there, you want a good read right there. I mean, that is good. That is a very good read. Now, let me leave that up here for a few seconds more. Sorry about that. That I've got to get that book. I really have got to get that book. Um, because he just the detail. There we go. We're in focus now. Just the detail alone of what he describes in that book. Wow. I mean, it's just wow. I mean, it is. DA's talked about it in his podcast. Man, that is very very cool. Very very cool. So, hey, we made it to an hour. Um, but yeah, so I mean, we can go around this world and seeing rock formations of giant animals and giant people. Some of them yes carved, some of them not. I mean, it's you're welcome, Shades. Um, it's just amazing what you can find out there. I mean, I've been all over this world. I have seen some strange stuff all over this world, and that's why this stuff kind of fascinates me, because I've went through stuff like this and found stuff like this all over the world. I mean, it's amazing. And even back then, when I didn't have a knowledge of anything cryptid or anything like that, man, I'm sitting there going, that's not natural. Nature didn't make that, and that's not carved by man. You can find that stuff everywhere. Unfortunately, a lot of it is hidden in thick wooded areas or jungled areas that you really, really have to tramp through to find. But it's hidden out there from side of humans. Purposely, I don't know. Or is the fact that humans just don't travel there, and therefore, nature's took over, because it's like anything else. If humans don't touch something, nature reclaims it. So I mean, a lot of stuff that we're missing could be exactly what it is, and nature reclaiming it. It's amazing, and sometimes we just finally go through into something that our ancestors knew about, but now you get modern archaeology come out. It's like this is a new discovery, and actually, it's not. It's just we have forgotten it because we've not been there. So then could that be what we're seeing here? Could we be seeing, petrified remains of giant humans and giant animals that in history we've forgotten, or we are redirected not to know, and we're just now stumbling across them again? That's a possibility. That very well is a possibility. I mean, it's that way, just not with these stone giants, but it's that way with anything out there that's cryptid, paranormal, supernatural, anything. It's just stuff we've known, that our ancestors knew about, and we're just now finding out about it. I mean, that's. I wonder if I could pull this up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yes, I can. I find this very interesting, and this is one I was going to share with William Nighthawk. And this is related a lot to your 411, DA. This is reports of all giant skeletons found in the United States. That is, and what I also find kind of interesting, which I need to get that off of you at some point in time, DA, is how this will overlay with the missing 411 and the cave systems. That just dawned on me about that. But look at this concentration of all these areas that giant remains have been found in the U.S. But I'd be interested how that would overlay with the missing 411. That's what I was thinking, because I was looking at on that with memory just now, and I can send that to you guys if you want it. But I remember seeing the cave systems that you post a lot, DA, and the missing 411 that you post a lot. And that's why it just hit me there for a second. It's like, that looks very, very familiar. I would. Oh, have you? Oh, good, good, DA. So I was thinking kind of right then on that. They all over there, they're all similar. See, there you go. I mean, there you go. That goes right back. For all you to listen to this later on in Shades, you listening now, DA has hit something that, man, it's mind blowing. It is freaking mind blowing. And until you look at it, You would never think about it until you see it. You overlay the missing 411s and the cave systems, they are virtually identical. And then he has come to the theory that it's not wood knocks that you hear, it's echo location, the clicks of the tongue. That these cryptids are using caves to travel around the world, which is funny because you watch the movies Godzilla, he does the same thing, With these cryptids, I wonder if giants ain't doing the same thing, because there is caves big enough for giants to go in. Stories, Native American stories, and stories all over the world about giants being in caves. It all kind of fits into that one deal. I mean, look at the book Journey to the Center of the Earth, and it's talking about cave systems that goes down to another world that's within the Earth. And why can, I mean, that is a possibility that is actually has a lot of weight. When DA can do a click with his tongue, oh my God, man, it sounds just like what we call a tree knock. I mean, sounds just like it. It is bizarre how he can do it. Toombs, my brother, good day. How you doing, Toombs? It is, ain't it, Shades? It is. It is. That's what I'm talking about. If you actually you look over that and you look over this map that I just showed of all these locations that giant remains have been. Um, there you go, buddy. Shades, this is a good brother of mine from Australia, Tombs. Man, that guy's got a lot of good stuff. No worries, brother. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, he's a good guy. Tombs, this is a good brother of mine. Benji here, we call him Shades. He's a brother. But if you, I mean, it's amazing how they overlap. I need to pull that picture up again because that is so cool. And the fact that you confirm that DA is just awesome. It's just awesome. Just look at it, and that's just the U.S. I was trying to find maps from all over the world, but unfortunately, I'm having a hard time finding. So I've got to dig deeper. But this right here, and just oh man, that is just like so cool. That is just so cool. And man, it's so. I mean, the possibility of giants using cave systems, it's not out of that realm, man. It really is not out of that realm. It's a very good possibility, and that's so cool that you've actually looked at. And I've got to get copies of those maps. I got to save that on here, and I got to figure out how you can overlay them too. Just kind of point that out. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, so you guys have to forgive me. But man, one of these days when I get big and popular, I'm going to have DA come on here with me, and we can kind of talk over this stuff. And this stuff's awesome. And hey, James, while I'm at it for a second, that was a cool little video you posted of a tiny dinosaur earlier. See, I didn't get the chance to listen to it, but I kind of looked over it before I came on live. But it's and what's funny is where you find all these stone giants of people and of animals. There's cave systems all over that area. I mean, there really is. I mean, which one was it? Is it this one? I mean, yeah, this is the Ireland one. All through that area there's caves. So, I mean, and who's to say at one point in time that caves on this world, I mean, when it was still young and new, wasn't much longer than what they are now. And you're absolutely right, Shades. You're absolutely right, and that goes back to that too. I mean, we know bears are in the woods, and we know all this other stuff in the woods, but how often do you find the bones of them? I mean, there's reports of, and this is why I wrote it in. Was my first Saga Grimson or my second one, where they took the remains inside of a cave, and DA's found stuff that supports that as well. That they take the remains inside of a cave. There was these what do they call it? The guys goes maps out the caves. DA's got an amazing podcast about it. Um, this girl was trapped in there for a long time and ended up coming out in another five or a few states over. And they're so interlinked under there all the time. And they found stuff in there. They found stuff from missing people in there deep in the cave that a missing person ain't going to be in. I mean, very possible. I mean, look, what was that mummified lady called? They found that was deep in the cave. Yes, geological survey. Yes. Um, oh man, not too long ago, they found the mummified remains of a woman, and she had been there so long that she actually became part of the cave floor. Native Americans had stories about taking their dead into caves. The Middle East has tons of that stuff too, and even in China. I mean, all over the world. If humans were doing it, why couldn't giants? Why couldn't cryptids? Why couldn't them others do it? Yeah, very good possibility. Very good possibility. There you go, DA. Thank you, buddy. And that lady, what was it? 3 or 5 states she was found later, DA. I think it was 5, wasn't it, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I mean, they're all interlinked together. I mean, and the more that this USGS goes out and explores caves, the more they're finding they're tied to another one, and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. There you go. Thank you, brother. Oops, hit the wrong one. Yeah. She was the next state over. Okay, thank you. I mean, look right there. And that's not uncommon. That is not uncommon at all. You both in the animal and human, the animal and human world. That's not uncommon at all. And I mean, look at that. I mean, and they found water systems that goes several states over. That's underground water systems. I mean, you got your upper aquifer and your lower aquifer. That's all underground, and they're linked in together throughout multiple states. Why is there not? I mean, there's not beyond the possibility of cryptids or giants using that to travel around. I mean, and I hate to go back to it again, but the movie Godzilla. Look how Godzilla traveled the world. He went through underwater cave systems and got around the world. So I mean, and you got tons of history or tons of reports from World War II and even ancient reports of people finding caves that they didn't know existed that were linked to underground cities and underground civilizations. I mean, Jules Verne's book, the Journey to the Middle or Journey to the Center of the Earth. Dude, I mean, it's he wrote so much fascinating stuff that his just it's hard to look away from. I mean, 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a submarine that was built before a submarine even knew, a nuclear powered submarine that he built before it was even a twinkle in the constructor's eye. I mean, the builder's eye. I mean, it's that man wrote about a lot of stuff. Another one I like to read is by Ingersoll Lockwood, and it's Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, and then his other ones. You listen to the stories in that book there, and that was written in what 18. That was written in 1893. The things that they talk about in that book, we're just now starting to figure out. I mean, it's talking about underworld civilizations in there. I mean, it's stories we've heard, and his other one is about all these islands with these different types of people. I mean, it's just some of the people who wrote books back then were writing about stuff that nobody would even have dreamed of it existed. And there's so possibilities of these giants being out there, and these giants that were fossilized or petrified and turned to stone. It's not uncommon. I mean, it's not. And what's that one? I should have saved them other pictures of the rock faces, and I can't believe I didn't do that. I know I got sidetracked, but see if I can pull this footprint up. Actually, I think I got that footprint in here. Never mind. Hold on. Yeah, no, not that one. Not that one. See if I can pull this other one up. Nope, I can't pull that one up. Okay. Never mind. I mean, Williams got them on his, but we're finding stuff out every single day. And I'll try to get some more pictures of these mountain faces that look, now you can tell they're not photoshopped. They're not carved out by man. It was just, they're cool. I mean, they really are cool. I mean, I've sat there and watched videos up in Alaska of giants walking from tree to tree. I mean, these things were taller than a tree. And they just videos of them ripping them out of the ground. There's stuff out there you got to dig. And, like I said earlier, and like DA said earlier, you got to be careful with AI crap. This damn AI, it's a wonderful thing, but it's also a nuisance at the same time. But I believe I might be able to pull this one up. And it's a drawing of a Native American and giants. So that's David and Goliath. Yep, right there. I actually can. And the reason why I kind of want to show this one, even though it's not on the stone giant subject, but it is giant related, because it falls in with the stories of the Native Americans facing giants all the time. I mean, and that's an awesome drawing that somebody depicted. Obviously it's not real, but it's a drawing. But I mean, this was Native Americans have stories of this just as much as anybody else around the world all the time. I mean, there's countless of them out there. So, being petrified or using caves and all this other stuff is not beyond the realm of possibility. It very well could be a reality. I'll do a short story later on these rocks that I was telling you about that looks like flesh and petrified flesh and blood. It's cool. It really is cool. I wish I could put it up on here, but it won't let me. So, but yeah, it's amazing. Oh, cool. We're at over 2 hours. So I don't know. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm trying to think what else we could talk about on here when it comes to stone giants. There's just so much out there. It's hard to remember. I mean, you can go to China, Japan, Iran, England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, Norway, Finland, Sweden, United States. You can go all over the world and find human faces in mountains that was not carved. And anybody knows anything about nature, man, yeah, water can do a lot of amazing stuff. It can't make some of the stuff that we see. I mean, and it's all over this world. They're everywhere. And man, I'm going to look up some more stuff. I got to try to remember to copy some more stuff. I'll look some more up. I may do another one on this some other time. This was just kind of my popping my cherry on this. And I'm working on stuff now. Let's see if I can get that pulled up on some, wrong one. Sorry. Go back in here. Videos. Yes. I'm going to be doing some. Oh, daggone it. Come on. There we go. Is it that one? Oh, no, that's research stuff. So I've got some ideas for aliens, gugwies, more stuff with giants. And like I said, I'll be getting with William Nighthawk. I got to do another one there before too long. Wendigos and stuff like that. And if you guys got any other ideas you'd like me to do a show on, let me know. I mean, I'd be glad to. I mean, I'd love to be able to do it. Anybody who watches this later on's got some ideas, do the same thing. Thanks, Toombs. I appreciate it, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I messaged DA before it happens. Like, man, 2 minutes left. I'm nervous. Yeah, because this is I'm breaking myself into this, and I've never done one by myself before, and I've only done one other one, and that was I was a guest on with William Nighthawk. Um, but this is stuff. It fascinates me, and I want to do more stuff. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, DA. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sage, you're awesome, man. Man, I love the crap out of you, brother. But I'll probably end up going ahead and end this here pretty soon, pretty quick, because I don't know what else we can discuss on here. The better I get at this, will probably be longer videos. I just done this one today. I don't have a set date or time on doing these. Most likely it's going to be a weekend because that's easier for me. I'm off Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays unless there's snow or tornadoes or something like that. Thank you, Shades. Thank you, brother. But any ideas of what you want, message me and I will look into them. I've got, and I posted on my on this YouTube channel some short videos on some ideas that I'm going to be working on. I want to do more than just a cryptid side, the Gugweed and Wendigo and Bigfoot, stuff like that, because everybody and brother does a lot of that too. So there's not really a whole lot of information I can put out there that somebody doesn't already know. But I want to, anything bizarre, supernatural, paranormal, cryptid, whatever. I mean, just anything out of the ordinary that, we don't know about or are just finding out about. I want to do stuff on that. I like it. I mean, that's why I named this channel The Bizarre and the Unknown, is because I want to focus on a widespread thing and not just a certain little area. I want to focus on it all because it's all fascinating. I mean, I've got stories of aliens or of UFOs that I've seen in my life, paranormal stuff I've seen. I've dealt with this stuff most of my life on cryptid, paranormal, and alien wise, UFO wise. So yeah, I'm going to be hitting that up because I'm familiar with that, but I want to lean outside of that too. So if you guys got ideas, let me know. And for you guys to join in, DA, Shades, Toombs, thank you guys so much for coming in and supporting on me on this first video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I don't have an amazing ending toast like DA does yet. I will be working on that. So I want to end this podcast on a simple deal. Show much love to our veterans, our active duty service members, our law enforcement, both active, retired, our EMTs, and all that stuff. Man, they need you. They love you. They do amazing things for you. I never call myself a hero. True heroes, the ones that never came back home. So that stuff kind of hits me a little close to home because I've seen my fair share of it. And sorry. So they're near and dear to me. I mean, they really are. They're near and dear. So, raise a glass to them. Raise a glass to your brothers. Just be kind to each other, and let's create an amazing world together. And let's get out there and learn this stuff we don't know. So, I love you guys, and peace be with you all.